whatchamajigget. It's called Zoom. So I guess most of you are not there. Most of you are sitting probably. So what's going on, people? I'm about to launch this Zoom meeting. There I go. One, two, one, two, one, two. Where you at, people? How you doing? So here I be. I wanted to start off with some of you folks on the flip side, and just let you know that I'm here. Mama say, Mama say, Mama I'ma say it one more time. I'm not gonna stop. Whatever Michael was saying, it was cool as hell, huh? He made his point. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm not gonna stop. My man is here. I decided I'd switch up tonight, and I'm doing a little pomegranate margarita. So this one's for you. Because at Chez Henri, we also got the highballs. We got the liqueur. So that's what's happening with that. What's up, people? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me adjust this just a little bit. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm not gonna stop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch up this studio a little bit because things are a little crowded, a little crowded, a little crowded. We got a little rain coming here. I don't think it's gonna affect the show, but I always give you heads up like I'm the weatherman or something. How's everybody doing? We're playing with time on the Zoom side, so Zoom is open. If you guys got that link, you can go ahead and sign in on that. I'm also going to be on the other two mediums. I'm also on 2 Facebook pages, and I'm also on YouTube as well. So I'm savoir-faire. I'm everywhere, as if you can. Huh? But anyway, folks, how y'all doing? This here good? Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. So you know I need my little libation just to keep me going. So how's everybody doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you cheering? How you cheering? How you cheering? How you mama them? Where you at? I'm tripping. I'm sure enough tripping. Decided I was gonna start getting involved in the community a little bit. Good evening, good evening. I shared with you guys that yesterday I was in physical therapy, and in retrospect, I don't know if this guy ran across my podcast because he asked me, one of the physical therapists asked me out of the blue if I listen to podcasts or FM radio. And I told him that I had a podcast, and he says, "Oh, really? What's the subject matter?" To that, I responded, current events and politics. I said, given that I have a master's in public policy and public administration. Yeah. He said, "Oh, okay. Well, let me check it out." So that's what I did. I gave him the name of my show. And while I was there, a few of them went online and they say they subscribed, but when I went back and looked, only one subscribed. Maybe a couple looked at it and decided to unsubscribe. or whatever the case may be. But to me, it was a social experiment in just dealing with people devoid of all of what I call the hangups of political parties and what have you. So, with that being said, I hope you guys got this link to the Zoom. I'm gonna try to bring a couple people up there. I'll try to bring a couple people up throughout the different media platforms. What I'm looking for is something that's going to give me a little bit more consistency as we decide to talk about some of the things that we talk about. So since I'm working with Zoom, I'm behind a 8 ball. I've got a ticking time there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It's about 6 past the half anyway. No, it's 5 past the half. So I'm gonna say good evening, welcome to the show. Um, before I get started, wanted to let you know that I'm checking out different multimedia platforms. I'm looking at Zoom and I'm looking at a couple other apps as well to figure out what best serves me and my vision for where I want to see this show go. So to that effect, I ask you to bear with me as I look for something that suits not only me but you too. Some of these platforms you have to sign up and get the app as well, and others. What I want is something that's as seamless and user friendly as I can find. So, to my people that's been following me, but that are not as computer savvy, they too can be a part and remain a part of the show. My name is Hank Batiste. My show is called OMITDALOGIC. And the voices in my head are screaming, they're screaming. I don't know if you know, but over 20,000 people died in Turkey and Syria as a result of earthquakes and natural disasters. So, though I focus on domestic issues and I always feel like, um, charity begins at home, my spirituality has to call attention to the suffering of others, especially in this global society, which is only a couple keystrokes away. So, with that, I want to say, let's just keep them lifted in prayer. No matter who you call your God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever the case may be. Per usual, I want to start off my show by saying thank you for tuning in tonight. As always, I'm truly humbled. All of the things that you could be doing, you choose to be here week in, week out, every Thursday to listen to me talk about issues that I believe are pertinent to us, all of us. Um, like I said, I haven't seen anyone on Zoom just yet. Um, But I've got that open. I also have the two Facebook pages open as well, and I'm looking at a couple more people on YouTube. Shout out to my YouTube people. Kind of the same people week in, week out. So that really it really warms the cockles of my heart. Cockles. But I have a question before we get started. Cerelyn C.J. Davis, the black female in Memphis, and I'm just pointing out she's a black female because I assume she's a mother, and I figure mothers would take a certain, hmm, I don't know. I guess I say my mom's always said not everybody was raised like you. Why is she still the chief of police in Memphis? But tonight we're going to talk briefly about a couple of things. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Joe Biden's performance and the State of the Union the night. And lastly, I wanted to bring the Zoom up because I really wanted to open a more um, dialogue centered environment where the men could kind of talk and the women could kind of talk concurrently instead of talking at each other, talk together. So we'll see how that works tonight. Last week I brought it up and I thought I did some things the wrong way, but we'll see how it goes. With that being said, if you got, I tagged some people, and if you saw that tag for the Zoom, give me a thumbs up. If you try going on to the Zoom and you have any problems with that, just give me a frowny face. And if it's there and you just decided you didn't want to come on camera, but it's working for you, give me a heart so that I'll know that these things are actually working for me. I'm assessing them as we go along. So with that being said, let's keep it moving. Like I said, my name is Hank Batista is OMITDALOGIC. This shit makes no sense, but every week we try to make it make sense. Let's go ahead and get this party started. State of the Union. Back in January, somewhere around January the 20th of 2017, I say that Joe Biden was the one who had not only the skill set, but the name recognition and those that personality that could unite not only the Democrats, but enough independents and even those Republicans who was just fed up and tired of Despicable Donnie's shenanigans. I justified my analysis by referencing the crafty Joe Biden that time after time former President Obama sent to Capitol Hill to get his legislative agenda passed. Most notably of those agenda items is affordable health care. They started off calling it affordable health care, and then the Republicans decide to rename it Obamacare because they knew with so much of the country having this negative feeling about a black president, it would make it unpopular with the majority of Americans. So they hoped, but it kind of backfired. And to their dismay, they wind up naming National Healthcare Program after the first and probably only black president. Shout out to Bill Clinton, who acted blacker than Barack Obama. I was at Bethesda during the Clinton administration. I had a chance to meet Clinton and just hear him talk. And I will say this: the man is truly uh, um, Rhodes Scholar. Rhodes Scholar, the way his head works, um, is just. I was just amazed at how you know brilliance can recognize brilliance, and I see that. I saw it firsthand, up close and personal. And some of the things I saw, he acted like a brother hanging out in a barbershop. So my analysis of what happened the other night, because Biden is older, I said that he would do best by serving one term to unseat Trump and then pass the mantle to a young, qualified Dem who demonstrated both the leadership and the vision that I feel is necessary to unite the country and this ever changing society, if you will. The Joe Biden that showed up the other night, that's the one I was looking for. I always said there was two Joe Bidens. One goes along to get along, and he treated Congress like they were his colleague and friend, and they treated him like he was a redheaded stepchild at a family picnic. Um, and then the other one was this crafty, slick, poised, seasoned politician, and that's who showed up and showed out the other night at the State of the Union. He was very astute. He he was wise. He was slick. He was crafty. He he set the stage by coming out and saying um, hello to Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy. He says, "I look forward to looking working with you in the future. Hopefully, that doesn't get you in trouble with any of your party members." And it was slick because everybody knows how many votes 15, 17, 37, 284, how many votes it took for them to finally elect Kevin McCarthy, and how he had to sell the store. And what you guys don't know is there's a fail safe in there that it only takes one person to initiate him being stripped of his Speaker of the House gavel, and they could vote on it again. So stay tuned. So that was slick. That was cool. And he gave a shout out to several people. The one person that did not recognize him was the one who knew him best. And that was Mitch McConnell. Mitch knew he was kind of being set up. So all of those people that stood up to be recognized and what have you, Mitch stayed seated and looked like, I ain't gonna fall for that banana in the tailpipe. So he did several things that I really thought was good. Um, Namely, he talked about the sundowning or elimination of social programs that have been renamed as entitlement programs. The word social program versus entitlement always has a negative connotation, like you're getting something that you're not entitled to or you're not deserving of. People, if you pay into Medicare and you pay into Social Security all your life, in the hopes of when you get older, you have some type of pension program or income to help you when you no longer can work, that's not an entitlement. You paid into that, you invested in that, and what you receive is a return on your investment. So then, I'm just keeping an eye on the time. Then, per usual, CNN or MSNBC asked Nancy to assess Biden's performance, and in pure Nancy form, she does what Nancy does best. She shines when you give her a microphone. Um, I'll give her props. She's a seasoned, very skilled politician. That's what she's been all of her life. So I understand that. I understand she's good at that. But by the same, she threw in her hand again. She threw the gauntlet when they asked her about Joe Biden running again. And she basically said that, there was no substitute for age and experience. And I say, yes, youth and vigor is a substitute because as we get old, we naturally slow down. You understand? We can do on days we still have those bouts of brilliance. You understand? But we can't night in and night out come out and score 45 points and pull down X number of rebounds or have a triple double. So I always use the analogy that ego is a monster. And older politicians are just like old athletes. They don't want to admit to themselves that it's time to give it up. It's time to give somebody else a chance to shine. You've had your time in the sun. So I say au contraire. True wisdom realizes that a wise leader starts to groom a young rising star from day one. When I got to Bethesda, there was someone who welcomed me with open arms. This guy served as my mentor, and he would call me to his office. His name was Hank Adams. My name was Hank Batiste. And when he would call me in, if we were just having a conversation, it was Hank this, Hank that. If it was a teaching moment, he called me Mr. Batiste. And it basically set the tone for this is about business. This is about you're going to learn something. Here's something that, and here's a way for you to shine. And I learned that from him. So on day one, I tried to develop the skills of those people that followed me, and I knew would take over because I knew I wasn't planning on staying forever. That's the difference. Ambition infects us. Ego just gets to us and makes turns the most humble person into a narcissist who believes that nobody can do what I do. Well, with the exception of Will Chamberlain, there's going to be another. When we had Dr. J, we didn't think there would be another Dr. J. We had Michael, and we never thought there would be another Michael. But Michael didn't try to become Dr. J. So when I look at some of these guys, the thing that made Barack, and when he was given the floor at the 2004 Democratic Convention, he distinguished himself as a young, up and coming rising star. And it's what propelled him into the national forefront. And we saw how he performed. So if we want to see the new JFKs, the new Clintons, the new Barack out there, we have to step aside and we have to tell these people that we expect them to do so. So that's all I got to say about that. Let's get to this woman and man thing. I thought I had some people up here ready to show up and show out. And I ain't got nobody on my Zoom just as of yet. But I will say this. Um, why did I choose to go from politics to old school dating? A, because I feel we are the elders now. It's up to us to be the example to those that follow us, our children, our grandchildren. And the thing about it is people that were not my children, those surrogate sons and daughters, always listened to me more intently than did my own children. And I think that's because when you invest in somebody that you don't have a vested interest in, they listen. They say, well, you must have really thought something of me to give me your time. Um, I think we have become confused. And this is just my own opinion. And with this, I'm going to open the floor. I think we have become so focused on political, I'm not political, but capital trapping, materialistic things, money, houses, cars, and what have you, that those are the litmus tests that we use to look at whether or not a person is deserving of our time. We had some people on here who talked about um, meeting their date or the person, the woman they was in a relationship with, doing a similar community task. And I thought that would be cool because when you got that something like that in common with someone, it seems like it would be a whole lot better than someone that you meet online. And then I had a young lady on here who talked about having someone and they dated for a period of time and they wind up getting married, but the marriage did not sustain itself. So I'm still in seeking, questing. I'm looking for answers that is beyond my comprehension, or beyond my understanding, or just beyond my opinion. To be honest with. So I know it's not about financial wealth. I know it's not that because two people together could build something that's phenomenal, but we cannot define our success, our happiness based on what we see somebody else have. Because their household might look good, but as we take a closer look, we see that their household is not in order. We see that they might be together, but they're not happy. So with that, let me see if I got some people up here. I don't know, Miss. Ah, I should pick on you. I should bring you up on camera. I always like sisters with hyphenated names. I still don't have nobody on this Zoom. Did anybody have problems with the Zoom? I see Sandra. Oh, you gave me a heart, so I guess that means you didn't have a problem with the Zoom. You just decided not to do it. Okay. Let me see. Let's try that. A couple people, and here's the problem with the Facebook. When I try to bring a couple people up, it either tells me that your Facebook app is old or that you're having problems. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna say Mama Sama Mamu So let me see. This one page is giving me all of these little issues. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. This is saying that I couldn't add yes. Do me a favor, go to my page and click on that link for Zoom because I haven't had anyone come up. Oh, and right now it's only saying that I have um I know y'all don't want to just hear me talk. I know y'all tired of hearing me talk. That's been my thing. I've been doing this week in, week out. And I decided I wanted to share the screen and the opinions of some of you folks because I know you got something to say. And I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So I invited a couple people. And I'm trying to do it, but it's not doing it. So anyway, here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you about a couple of my mishaps. There was one lady. Let me get a sip of my libation. Maybe two. One lady I known over a period of time, only through social media. We shared a couple online groups, and she and I started talking, and we showed an interest in each other, and we made plans on getting to know a meeting. And I'm like this. I'm very careful about who I bring into my space, and more importantly, I'm very careful about who I go to visit because two things: I don't stay nowhere where I'm not invited or I don't feel welcome. I don't go anywhere where anyone has the power to tell me to get out. And I don't put myself in a situation where uh, this person could say something that adversely affects who I am and how I live, my freedom, this, that, and the other. So, long story short, after talking and having a few near misses, we were going to get together and she talked to me one night and she says the only reason I wanted her is because and I quote, I can carry my own water and that appeals to you and you want to control me. And I said, well, first of all, if you know me, I love a woman that has her own mind. I love a woman who can think for herself. But by the same token, if you know me, that if you make me feel like you're not true to me or do something that rubs me the wrong way, I just cut ties. When red flags go up, I act accordingly. I'm not going to stick around and say, well, he or she was having a bad day, this, that, and the other. The first time, depending on the situation, I might overlook it or I may talk to you about it. But if I have to go back and forth, I just, that doesn't work for me. And it's mainly because I grew up in a household where I was never belittled. My moms didn't call me out of my name. My mom didn't call me stupid. My moms didn't do this, that, and the other. I knew I was loved. Not only was I loved by my moms, but I was loved by the extended community. So I always say before there was an internet, my mom had a network. And there was all of these women and men as well who looked out for me, A, because of who my parents was, and B, because of a certain talent that they said that I had. I got tired of hearing that you've been here before. You got, old folks wisdom or old folks knowledge or old folks this or old folks that. And I didn't understand that. But it gave me a sense of self, of self-worth. So I was loved. I was encouraged. I was told constantly that God gave me a talent and I shouldn't squander it. I was told in time and time again that I had this wisdom and this knowledge. Um, so I know my worth. When I seek or get with someone, and there's a couple women on here that I dated, I have to trust this person. And more importantly, I have to feel like this person trusts me. If you don't trust me, I'm not going to waste your time, and I'm certainly not going to make you miserable. Not to say that I'm perfect, because I have messed up. I've messed up royal, and I'll be the first to admit that. And there's a couple ladies, if I had it to do over again, or if I had known then, but I know now, I probably would have did some things differently. But that's life. That's life. I don't seek to misuse anyone, but I make my feelings known. Um, Another woman told me, we were having a conversation and she says, well, you seem to be very hard on this, that, and the other. But she called me and she asked me about some political things and why I felt this way and that way and the other. And I says, well, all you talk about is what you want to do. You want this, you want that, you want the other. And I said, what we have to understand is, first of all, America has a problem when we flaunt our wealth, when we flaunt what it is that, our good tidings. I said, there are three places that I could remember off the top of my head that was decimated simply because America did not like the fact that blacks were thriving. I said, so if your whole focus is capital gains and material things, first of all, that's the easiest thing for them to take from you. And if you don't have something deeper than that, I always say I want a lady that I could spoil. I want a woman that I can make mad love to. I want a partner I can build an empire with. And most importantly, I want a companion that I can grow old with. And that's where the trust really comes in. I was seeing a woman and she says, well, you asked me to come over and help you do some things. I said, yeah. I said, but when I saw you, you were looking good. And, my whole mindset changed. I am but a man. And I wanted to ravish you. And she said, well, what's in it for me? And it was a buzzkill. What's in it for you? Because I had gotten to a point where I felt like maybe this was the one, and I didn't want to make the same mistakes in the present that I had made in the past. But when someone says something like that out of their mouth, it not only calls for pause, it calls for some serious introspection. And when someone's in their head the way I am, so that was the end of that. And when I talk to some of my girlfriends and I hear things about going out with guys, and one lady says, yeah, a guy romanced her on the phone for a month and a half, and then he wanted to come and see her. They only stayed about 50 miles. And he says, well, what's the nearest hotel? I'll get us a hotel room. And she says, hold up, I'm not ready for that. I'm like, well, why didn't he just say, I'll get a hotel for me? And then, if it moved that way, just let it happen organically. She said, yeah, there was a chance of that happening. But I felt like he was saying the only reason he was coming was if I stayed with him and promised to do what he wanted me to do. And I said, well, you know what? Sadly, a lot of women come at you like that as well. So I don't know. I don't have the answers. Certainly don't have the answers. Um, I have some ideas. I always say that I don't have a laundry list, but I have a definite idea of what I don't want. So I really wish I could bring a couple of you people up here. I don't know why. Some people are just ducking me. They don't even want to come up on screen. So y'all gonna put me on front street. With that, I'm gonna say this. You've heard what I have to say. Questions, comments, come at me. Let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think about what I said. Assess me. Let me know. I dare you. I got about 10 minutes that I'm going to open the floor. And if you can't make it to camera, type in your question. Okay, homegirl, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you're going to say. Oh, sicky, sick. We got one brave soul. We got one brave soul. We got one brave soul. Why didn't you come on Zoom, Miss Speaks? Could you not? Did it not let you do that? I'm trying to get you up. This is adding, but then you're not coming up. Dun, 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 dun. This is ridiculous. Because I didn't have to go through, and this is why I didn't do the other thing. Show of hands, somebody give me some thumbs up or what have you. Did anybody try going to Zoom? Did anybody have any problems with it? Uh-huh. Every every time I try bringing somebody up, it tells me that they're having problems, that they're having technical issues. And I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. All right. Since y'all scared, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, and I'm gonna say this. Um, we all have an idea, I think, an ideal person or set of requirements, prerequisites, or whatever you want to call it, of the person that we decide we want to be with. Um, Me, of all the women I dated or went out with or had relationships with, honestly, I've only been in love 3 times. So it is what it is. And I think the thing that made it love for me was it was something that was built on trust. The thing that made it love for me was it's not like I had a script. It's not like it started off with once upon a time and went into happily ever after. It had its initial, what I call fascination. And from that, it really developed into something that was all consuming. It, it got me out of my head. It made me focus on my heart. It made me want to be with this person because that person made me feel like they wanted to be with me. Um, Now you said what happens? Well, unfortunately, life happens sometimes. So to you folks that are there, been there, if I'm not the only one, I'm starting to feel like the love doctor. Maybe I should change my voice to this. Maybe I should give us a mood lighting. But seriously, I'm just trying to figure out what it is. How do we get back to a point? Okay. Here's one person that got the assignment. Did you try going to Zoom? She's trying to get on Facebook and it says that the signal is weak. Anybody else having that problem with the Facebook signal? Has anybody tried going on Zoom? Will there be one? I'm starting to feel like the Baptist preacher now. Will there be one? Y'all gonna make me misbehave. I just showed y'all my tender side, and y'all gonna bring me back. See, that's why I had to have my pomegranate margarita. Mm, that's good. I ain't gonna lie, that's good. Well, um, this was a bust. This pisses me off to the utmost of pissosity because I had great plans for tonight. I don't mind talking, but I wanted to do something else. I wanted to hear you talk. I wanted to hear you come up and do your thing. So neither one of these Facebook pages is giving me what I want. I want anybody to go to the Facebook page and click on that Zoom link and see what's going on. Only got a few minutes left on the Zoom thing, and this is why I didn't want to buy a quote unquote membership with them until it showed me that it was actually working. Um, Someone offered to let me use their Zoom, but I'm hard headed. I like to do my own thing. So here's the deal. I need somebody to hit me with a question. I need somebody to tell me what's going on with them. What's up, man? Happy belated birthday to you. One of my high school partners. You too. Where y'all at? Y'all quiet over there. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Well, anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have my final word. Let me just say this. I'm gonna make this quick. Like I said, okay. Here's one of my old friends says, I was in love with a guy, but the love wasn't reciprocated. So I settled for less. Love my hubby, but not in love. Wow. 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 I don't know. Love is a strange thing. To me, love is like catching an illness. Notice I said catching an illness. Um, you find yourself with an illness or a medical condition, and you have to adapt to the condition. Um, Sometimes we could be going through something that, and because of what we're going through, we just can't allow ourselves to be vulnerable or to show love. Other times, I think we define love differently. We might call ourselves loving someone, but it's not the way they want to be loved. We may call ourselves loving someone, but it's not enough for that person. It doesn't, we don't define it the same. It doesn't fulfill them. It doesn't complete what they need. As I said before, Teddy had it wrong. Teddy said, it's so good loving somebody that somebody loves you back. That's 70-30, not 60-40, but 50-50 love. So 50-50 sounds good. 50-50 only makes 100. But what if the 50% that person is giving you is not the 50% that you need? So I think John Legend had it better. He got it right. He understood the assignment when he said, all of you for all of me. And I think that's what's missing now. We have so many distractions, you know. Um, we got people seeking fame, if only for 15 minutes on TikTok. We got people seeking this elusive, I don't know, thing called what? Financial security. When in fact, as I said before, financial can erode. And if that's the only reason you're with that person and that person with you, it's not sustainable. So we go through ebbs and flows. Um, I don't profess to being an expert on a situation, but I know I've been in enough situationships, real relationships, not relations, real relationships, where something happened, and for whatever reason, you can't control the outcome. So I don't know. I'll say it again. I want a lady that I could spoil, but I want that lady to spoil me. I want a woman that I can make mad, passionate love to. And now in return, that woman make mad, passionate love to me. I want a partner that I could depend on and we can build something together. There's this simple as commercial. I can't remember. I think it's neutral, whatever. But there's this black couple, and he talked about he had to lose weight because his biggest fear was leaving his wife and not being there for her. And then she decided to do it with him. And that just seems so genuine. And it seems like it's not what's happening today. When I look at the movies and all it is who's the most conniving, who's the most manipulative. And I think that's the problem. If all you're seeking is financial freedom, then you should do that alone. Don't seek that through someone else. You know, that's just me. I don't know. So with that, folks, I'm gonna bow out of this. Thank you for sharing that with me, Diane. I'm sorry it didn't happen. Um, Shout out to Miss Broussard, Mr. Roby, Miss Green. Oh, and what happened here? Miss Brown Colston, Miss Rowley, all of you guys that decided to come by. Miss Barbara Jean, Miss Henry, some of my Carverites, some of these folks that's been knowing me forever. Shout out to my YouTube people, my sister from another Mister, Miss Allen, Miss CMC, Miss Tisha Pugh, Al, and my Pinky. I guess she's in attendance tonight. I guess she still got her clothes on. But I'm gonna say this, folks. Um, I brought up the situation of the Black communities because we have become a people that focuses so much on what a person has. We praise people because of their financial worth, not their character. And I think that has something to do with who we choose we want to be with. The problem with this is time after time, be it Black America or Native Americans, our cultures, as every time our cultures thrive, America did everything within their power to decimate it. America bombed and destroyed Black communities in Oklahoma. America decimated a thriving Black community in Georgia that was once called Oscarville. And if you live in the Georgia area, I don't know if you know this, but Lake Lanier sits on top of what used to be this thriving Black community called Oscarville. If you're from New York, I don't know if you know this, but Central Park once upon a time was a thriving Black community. And they took all of that land. They eradicated that community and they made it in a Central Park. And then they start putting up all of those high rises. Here in Daytona Beach, I was told that Daytona Beach was for white folks and New Smyrna Beach was for Black folks. In New Orleans, there was Pontchartrain Beach for white folks and Lincoln Beach for Black folks. So once upon a time when we had little, all we had was each other. Now we want everything. And it's so easy for us to forget about one another. So with that being said, I'm going to say that's all I got for you tonight. This is not the way I conceived it. This is not the way I planned it, but this is what it is. I'm adapting, I'm improvising, and I will overcome. But I ask you to bear with me as I find some social media platform that works. Because right now, it just seems that everything is not giving me the bandwidth or an opportunity to bring people up on screen. I want to hear from you guys. I'm tired of telling you my secrets. Folks, that really is all I have for you tonight. Do me a favor, in spite of all of this, go to my YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell so that you'll know when I put up more content. Look at a couple of my reels and my some of my TikToks. I try to put little shorts in there that matter. One of my most popular is the one that I talked about the reasons why we should look at the Tyree video. And I'll say this. I always say this before I go. Don't be so afraid to die that you forget to live for a purpose. I'll see you next week right here with some new social media platform, and hopefully I won't have to do all the talking. I'm capable, but I really want to hear from you guys. I really want to make you part of this presentation. I want to make you part of this show. See you next week. Same Baptiste time, same Baptiste place. I'm deflated, but I'm not defeated. And as always, in party, wish you love. I wish you peace. Two fingers to the sky, and I wish you like your man. Hair grease. I'm out of here, folks. Good night. Love is truly been good to me. Not even one sad day or minute have I